about to enter Algonquin Park, a vast wilderness in Ontario of over 3,000 square miles with over 2,400 lakes. We are traveling this amazing landscape by canoe. We'll go deep into the park, with the water and the blue sky and the sun, the moon and the stars as our companions. Algonquin Park is a very popular place. Until you get through a portage or two, then you practically have the place to yourself. Once you launch your canoe from the shore to begin your trip, to when the canoe bumps the shore at the end 7 days later, you're at the grace and mercy of the park. There will be bugs, heat, sore muscles and aching bones, blazing sun. They all come with the territory. Hopefully you get some good weather. But regardless, there will be miles of incredible scenes that you travel through. Scenes that are almost otherworldly. Scenes that will take your breath away. We arrived at our first campsite, and it was a beauty. There were some fantastic spots in the lake, and it became a mirror as the calm summer evenings set in. Beauty first day. Magnetewan Lake, a couple of portages, some fishing, some sun. The mist in the morning was spectacular as the sun rose and began to heat up the world after a cool summer evening. Breakfast was bacon and eggs and coffee. Perfect fuel for a day of canoeing.
Morning.
On our way to the Tim River, not sure what we had in store. The rest of the day will be spent on the Tim River, squeezing through tight spaces, limited visibility, around bend after bend, and the sandflies bite your ankles the whole way.
How not to navigate rocks.
There he goes, folks.
Head first. Headstand in the Tim River.
beautiful Tim River. Windy as can be.
What we do with the portage, you take the canoe, you put it on your head. See? Go like this. You see like that? Then you start to... everything is upside down! Then you start with the walk. And the whole world goes upside down. And you take the boat for the lock. So, we are part of the way down the Tim River. On the map, it looks like it's a certain distance. When you're in the river, it just goes like this for what is really hours and hours. Doing a 450 meter portage. And it's going. Oh, where the fuck is the portage, man? Oh shit, there's the portage. Son of a bitchy. Not what I have planned. Where is the freaking... As you get deeper in the park, we're going on a 7-day trip. There's obviously less and less people. And there's exactly where I'm going. And the trails are less traveled. And so portages could be a little overgrown. Okay. Portage finito. I will never go to Tim Hortons again.
The river slowly opened up a little, but there was still a long way to go. But sometimes along the way there was a rare moment of great reward. This was the second moose we saw along the Tim River that day. It's hard to describe the feeling, and it doesn't come often, and not on every trip. We had the lake to ourselves. The sun set, the moon rose. And the calm lake reflected it all. We dragged our aching bodies out of bed and had another bacon, eggs, and coffee breakfast before heading out. A short paddle to our first portage into Longer Lake. This is where we joined a part of the route taken by my great-uncle Ruthven McNairn when he spent a month in the park back in 1933. We hadn't seen anyone in a while, starting to feel at home in the wilderness. Eventually, on a long trip, a canoe trip at least, you become comfortable going hard all day. You also get comfortable with amazing scene after amazing scene. It becomes normal that you live in an astoundingly beautiful and ever-changing world. the harder something is, the less people do it. We got out into an incredible lake, Shippagew, and we were the only people on the lake. There's only 2 sites on the lake because so few people go there. So the only way to get to Shippagew Lake, which is absolutely gorgeous, complete solitude, incredible campsite, absolutely incredible place. The only way to get there is a lot of hardship. Shoulders are so a lot of hardship. And but what's the reward?
Okay, we're going upstream here now, okay, boy? Yeah, just paddle hard. Oh, heavy hard, heavy hard!
Sometimes getting a good ass kicking is the best thing for you. Sometimes you come out of it stronger. And each day you actually get in better and better trip shape. And in no time, you're in trip shape. You know, by the end of the week, we'll be doing portages. And you won't even think about the portage while you're doing it. Just be thinking about other things, even though you have a canoe or a heavy pack on your back. And that's when you know you're in trip shape. Many of the scenes are like you are traveling through a Thomson painting, or like you are traveling in space, with no up or down, the lake a perfect mirror reflection of the sky above as the canoe floats through it all, heading toward a specific destination, a place with some flat ground to sleep. You may start thinking in dreams and waves, your thoughts like clouds floating by. You may turn into a wolf on occasion. Sometimes there is nothing to say. You just take it in.
Now that is a beauty. What a day. Except I really stink, but otherwise it's good. Oh yeah. Yeah, I stink. Famous Burnt Island Lake. Another beauty. Does it ever end? Paddling on Littledoe Lake, heading into Tommy Thomson. Tommy Thompson's favorite spot.
Arriving at camp on Thomson Lake in good time, we had another opportunity for some unsuccessful fishing, as well as swimming and exploring the lake. Night fell and the dragonflies came out for dinner, and the lake became still. The moon shone brightly again tonight, reflecting on the calm water. As the fire lit up the evening, we thought of the great Tom Thompson. Another beautiful morning. The weather on this trip has been spectacular, but you never know what you're going to get or what's in store.
Take it slow, take it easy.
$23.20. Tom Thomson Lake.
On our 2300 portage. It's our biggest portage of the trip. Beautiful day. Going good so far. Let's see what she brings.
Our largest portage of the trip, 2.3 kilometers, and we planned on it taking a while. If you can do a portage in one trip, I congratulate you. But since we were in no rush, we took 2 trips. On this fine day, it was perfect. Kind of an easy portage too. Very pleasant.
All right, we made it to Ink Lake. It is inky. Very dark. If you're in up to your waist, you can't see your feet. You can't see all the leeches. Gentlemen, we've made it to the iconic Timberwolf. Hey, that looks the same as the last lake. No, it's different. It's a different lake. Last portage of the day, going from Timberwolf Lake to Misty Lake. It's our second last night. Feels like we live here almost now. I guess we gotta go back home. I'm kind of done with portaging.
Gotta get through somehow.
It's the only way. We made it to our 5th campsite. And it's a beautiful sight on Misty Lake. It's really a giant old hemlock grove with a bunch of beautiful old hemlocks and hickory, silver birch. This is the world now. McDuff and McDoo went paddling one day, and they came across a glassy waters that reflected itself, and they couldn't stop but videotaping it.
Aye.
They couldn't stop themselves because it's such a beautiful paddle along the side of the cliff. It's just too much.
You cannot stop a big boulder like that.
Too much for a man to take.
Missing you, you're missing the trees. Throw down the keys and lock the door. Stick your feet in the water while you're not too old. The world of ones and zeros is getting a little cold.
Stick your feet in the water before you get too old. The world of ones and zeros is getting a little cold. It's amazing how the lake reflects like a mirror from above and also from below.
Inventions become stale, for they've had time to weave a tale. The black willow sings a song through the generations. The cedar teaches many lessons still.
Sometimes you get visitors at camp. Chipmunks, mice, snakes, birds. Another gorgeous evening for our last night in the park. Hoping for a misty morning tomorrow.
So it's the last morning, another beautiful day. A trip in Algonquin Park is more than just getting outside. Sometimes it's good to know what you can accomplish. And one way to do that is to really kind of have no way out. You are giving yourself to the land, and for that time period, the land is in charge. The rewards touch your heart. You get up in the morning and the sun rises and starts burning down on the lake and the mist swirls. And the sun goes down in the evening and the clouds reflect on the mirror that is the lake. Just to know there's more out there. If you see and experience this beauty out here, and when you're home, when you're leaving work, you look up and you see the sun, and you remember that sun on that lake, and it's the same sun. And then you look up in the evening and see the moon, and you orient your direction to the moon and you realize it's the same moon and you're facing in the same direction. And when you're paddling your canoe, and a loon appears, as the sun rises in the background. What else can you do but give thanks? You don't have to understand it. You don't have to figure it out. Just give thanks. When you do that, amazing things just keep happening. gentlemen, we are back on Hambone Lake. In a few moments, we will cross our original path from 7 days ago, completing the giant mega loop. It's a little sad as our trip comes to an end, but we shall have another one in due time. Thank you, Algonquin.
The year is 1933. My great-uncle, Ruthven Colquhoun McNairn, was 18 years old and looking for adventure. He took a train from Dundas through Toronto and on to Cache Lake, where he and his friend Colin Cam began their month-long journey through the park. Established in 1893, Algonquin Park was 40 years old by then, and it had already been 16 years since the mysterious death of Tom Thomson on Canoe Lake in 1917. Ruthven McNairn was born in Toronto in 1914, the third of 4 boys. He craved adventure and was learning to be a writer. Among Ruthven's writings is a diary of his month in Algonquin Park in the summer of 1933, full of Algonquin history and stories of an almost forgotten past. This movie is the first of a series, sharing Ruthven's diaries and writings and life with the world. Little did young Ruthven know at the time, but the skills he learned in the park would help him later in life as captain in the Algonquin Regiment, fighting his way through World War II with his men in Europe.